Hi, my name is Neb Camus Sin Atum-Re, and this video is called Amun Ra, Gold Blood and Monatomic Gold, taken from the guidance of the masters for the ancient Egyptian order publication, the ancient Egyptian materialization rite, on page 32. We read, so by nature we're either right-eyed or left, just as you are, speaking just as you are, by nature left-handed or right. Originally, you were ambidextrous, able to use both sides, but because of the tilting of the planet on a 23-degree axis, many of us became prone to the left side. So, the Muhammadans, whose doctrine are also founded on Roman Catholic beliefs, because the very person that told Muhammad he was a prophet was a Christian, these Muhammadans took positive and negative sides from the Tama-Re and switched it, saying the left was niche, disagreeable, and the right was nefir, agreeable. Yet and still, the heart which sustains their life is on the left side. So in essence, there is no good and evil in the sense of good and bad. There is, however, an agreeable and disagreeable, a force of negative and positive energy, which is the balancement, which governs the universe. Overstanding this is what leads to sound right reasoning, which is the science of Nuwaupu. The Homo sapien is always trying to overstand, which will lead to overstanding of outformation, coming into this state to become intellect. This gives control of one's own reasoning, which would breed sound, right reasoning, Nuwaupu, the ancient sciences of the Tama-Re had for existence, relative to the universe, in which it finds itself placed. There is in reality 3 points of reference, but religious people generally identify 2 routes to which to search for the answers. One is nefir, agreeable, and the other they call niche, disagreeable, as darkness and agreeable as light. It's even gone so far as to make the right side nefir, agreeable, and the left side niche, disagreeable. These are Greek, Roman, after European influence ideologies that is founded on no facts. There are 3 principles founded upon the reality that there must be a deciding factor or a decider as to what is nefir, agreeable, and what is niche, disagreeable. Thus, in ancient Tama-Re, the principle was the triad, the structure of the mere pyramid, which has the decider at the upper point. The khu was tapped down to the decision, and 2 points out of that which is in agreement with the decider and that which is in disagreement with the decider. However, in the prophetic religions, whose basic assumption is that a personal deity who rules the universe and who communicates his will to humans through prophets, apostles, disciples, mystics, and the lawgivers, neglecting animal life, vegetation, bacteria, and viruses. This deity usually have no form, no source of reference, and no confirmed existence. This deity, is in conflict with nature and science, but by blind faith created by the blinding white light, religion is sparked into believing in unverified, unseen existence. To personify it for the intellect, they give it a name that will make it a noun, a person, a place, or a thing. The Muhammadans took it a step further to try to implement nature by giving their deity Allah 99 names, which would be likened to the 99 natural elements. The Muhammadans' attributes are on an etir, with agreeable and disagreeable names, such as the Destroyer Al Mudhillu, Muntaqimu the Muntaqimu the Avenger, Mumiytu the taker of life, Mani'u the withholder, and Khafidu the abaser. Thus, when reciting these attributes, you are invoking a negative energy. This is done to incite fear in the believer, the fear of being burnt up if you were to do wrong, knowing you were created in his image, knowing Nephir agreeable and Nich disagreeable. Genesis 1:26 and Genesis 3:22. Thus, with Nich in your nature, you are bound to do Nich. Therewith, this deity keeps you in fear, and by keeping you in fear, he suppresses your supremacy, thereby keeping the child of the Nitiru from becoming Nitiru. This is why in Walpo, the attributes the attributes which coincide with the natural elements considers the positive attributes of the Nitirat, thereby invoking a positive energy upon recitation. There are other elements outside the 99 elements that have been discovered. However, most of these elements are synthetic, not a part of nature. The hunger of a deity that does not respond frankly about the facts of life is the sanctuary for the so-called monotheistic religions, namely Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and the thousands of splinter groups and sects that are sprung from them. So this fear of an answer that might be too frank to accept, such as, yes, you will die, is covered up by their monotheistic deity promising eternal life, whether it be in a paradise that's usually described as an amusement park, or a garden, or a mythical place, or for the more esoteric, a spiritual abode, or for the more esoteric or spiritual being, a spiritual abode. They still create a detour from attaining facts about life, existence through breathing. So they create God and the devil. In between them, they create angels, then themselves, host of mythological stories founded on no facts, and call it religion. In ancient Tama-Re speaking, you saw the big picture. So religious doctrines created an unseen deity, and this God is directly and personally concerned with the right ordering of this world. apparently forgetting that while in their religious devotion, this deity also created disorder, an unnecessary fact if your purpose is universal peace. He then teaches that with right order and a righteous relationship, he wishes to exist. Hence, he is the lawgiver par excellence. Christianity, Judaism, and Islam fall under this category. The mystics, who do not accept a personal man-God, one deity in human form, who have existed, still exist, and will always exist, who takes on a physical form to guide a specific group or denomination at a specific geographical location on the planet, speaking in a clandestine tone and receiving a holy book in that tongue, sees the bigger picture. To call this deity him is to limit the powers of this deity. You cannot overlook the overwhelming information and scientific data in the biology community that has proven that the female Homo sapien, namely woman, predates man. Thus, to create man in his image and after his likeness, the term man would have to have been the limitations of the inscriber and the source. In this narrow-minded thinking of a one-man God who created the heavens and the earth and the sun as an instrument of reckoning time, they do acknowledge astronomy that has and does confirm the existence of many other suns, but avoid their purpose in the other sun's respect, meaning simply if one deity, masculine, male image, created this sun 93 million miles away from the planet Earth as a measure of time, then which deity created the other millions suns much greater in size than this one to calculate time? For whom or what created this sun and ignored the creator of that created the other suns and their measure of time is the narrow-minded tunnel vision, again applicable here, as is found in racial and culturally oriented beliefs that parade themselves around as the religion with the deities and the right way. This type of thinking that governs monotheistic beliefs only misleads, misguides, and detours the divine in all. This mentality would allow you to believe that all existence exists on a long, narrow beam of light which blinds the individual from seeing the vastness of the blackened universe, its sacredness, and its holiness. This blackened universe existed before the lights were clicked on, which gave birth to chaos and confusion that sees and identifies, as in the case of a room full of human beings of all races. The differences would not be seen, noticed, or detected until the lights were cut on. That started the division, the separation, and the categorizing. This categorizing of their deities becomes in their image and after their likeness to make themselves superior to all others. When in reality, the all is not a person, for the all is not a he, she, or it, but encompasses all that is, that was, that will be, and can be. both mystic and prophetic religions, aim at salvation of some sort. And this implies that there is both something or someone which can be saved, and also something from which it can be saved. This they create out of fear of reality, the fear of being in control, the fear of the responsibilities of being in control, and the end results of doing the best one can while in control of life. For prophetic religions, this something is usually sin or niche. For the mystic, it is the human condition as you know it, subject to birth and death, old age and decay. For example, the liberation of the soul from the bondage of time, space, and matter. Their greatest fear, which creates the scapegoat of obedience to Nephir agreeable over niche disagreeable. Who will grant me eternal life? Who will grant me life eternal? Unlike the stress, I will not die. Unlike the insects, the animals, the sea creatures, I will not die. I will, if I am compliant to Nephir deity and his Nephir laws which I have created, I will live forever. So I need not fear death. Human's greatest fear, human's greatest fear is the day the music of life stops forever, never to be played or heard again. This fear creates world chaos. The essence of the Tama-Re teachings is based on factual reasoning, questions, answers. Nuwapu has no need and no place for assumptions, opinions. In Tama-Re, what you now call religion was so widely acknowledged that it didn't even need a name. There is no indigenous name for religion within their own language. It was simply referred to as Nuwapu and implied sound, right reasoning. That which one needs to succeed in whatever realm they may be at that point in time or outside of time. Religion restricts you to what I am doing now to determine what I will receive later. Nuwapu only has a now. Now is, now was, now will be. So this scroll entitled The Ancient Egyptian Materialization Rite is a ritual based on certain Nitiru, deities, guardians. Through concentration and visualization, the initiate personifies Planeti Amun in a sacred realm, mathematically designed in a sacred realm mathematically constructed called Pa'is-Tara'ayit Daka, the materialization site. In this ritual, one makes contact with beings that have made themselves known by physical manifestations on this planet throughout time. This ritual is just one of the doorways to return to the source while yet still in the physical body, making available the spiritual link and communication at all times. You will learn more as you are tuned to your family on the other side. For on our most holy land, Tama-Re, Egypt of the West, the new Atlantis, there are many rituals dealing with the alignment of the soul bar and Paka, the spiritual body, etheric double, and Khat body, physical body. These rituals are geared towards the aligning the individual and reattuning one's inner being with the ancient one's Panitirat and nature. For human beings, though they are born mortal, speaking, they possess a seed of the divine. A seed simply awaiting the proper ingredients for growth and development. A dormant nitir awaits to blossom from this great lotus and shine forth as a sun, bringing comfort through facts to all. Are you listening, people? Thus, this ritual is to materialize the ingredients that split the seed in the earth which grow all life. The whole universe is an intentional creation. All creation is spiritual in origin. If you think of creation, you will know the importance of sound and vibration. For instance, take the spark Kawun, which caused all life to be and elements to come together. It brought forth the reaction we call Hayo, life, in that it began as a constant rhythmic form of building, forming, and arranging. In the materialization ritual, the initiate calls upon his guardian Amun to materialize before him by calling his name in a resonant tonation. This causes him to raise his vibrational level within his arush, his chakras, so that he may make contact with his oversoul and receive the image of the whole light being. It is through vibrational tones of Amun, that you, the initiate, are able to materialize this nitir. You, the initiate, must reattune your soul to the sacred tone of planet Earth as well as the universe. You're hearing it now, the Aum sound. For Shita Earth is alive. She hums and breathes. And we are a part of Ta. We all are children of Mother Nature, Nitir. This tone Amun is all encompassing and it has no limits. It is the medium to the source whose love cannot be contained, for it is ever boundless. In the name Amun itself, you see the tone, you see again the tone of the universe, Aum. So, who is this Natir Amun? Amun is the hidden one. Amun, or meaning hidden one, is the Natir usually shown in the anthropomorphic form, wearing a tall feather crown, but sometimes represented as a ram or a goose. His cult is primeval Nitir. The Nitir Amun is one of the highest Nitirat in ancient Tama-Re civilization. He was worshipped, they say, around the year 2000 BCE. But they are wrong. He predates that year by thousands of years in the fourth nome of Upper Egypt called Karnak or Waset, which is Nubia, Sudan today. A nome is a province in Pharaonic, Hellenistic, or Roman Egypt. At this time, he was a minor fertility netir. At this time, he was a minor fertility netir. However, within 150 years, he replaced the netir Montu, a netir of war, as the major netir of the district. Amun was represented as a human wearing a ram's head. As a human wearing a ram's head, or wearing a triple crown. He also kept a living ram in his temple. The European hated his school so much, they started the ram cult, or Satanism using a ram, a goat. GAOTU stands for the Great Architect of the Universe from the Masonic Order. They started using Baphomet, which is French for Mohammed, which is Muhammad, one who is worthy of praise. In secret, they worship the ram or goat head as the five-pointed star, which is also the pentagram, the Egyptian star, and even the building structure, the Pentagon, which is the seat of war of the Netir Montu. In the book of Matthew 2:2 of the Christian New Testament, Jesus is referred to as the star coming out of the east, Eastern Star. This is the real reason America keeps an eagle as its symbol. The goose was another animal that was associated with fertility and sacred to Amun. And sacred to Amun. And thus a goose was kept in Amun's temple in representation of the goose that laid the golden egg. In time, Amun became a netir of agriculture and was responsible for crops and prosperity. As he became more popular, the Afertiad or pharaohs chose him as their own personal netir, and as a result of this influence, he became a solar sun netir. Originally in pre-dynastic times, before the 46 dynasties, he was the netir of the wind, the ruach, ruh, ba, soul, nifu, wind, the breath of life. Linked to the idea of invisibility is another of his titles, he who abides in all things, confirming that he was the very soul or bar of the universe itself. As Amun's power spread, his priest proclaimed him the creator of the universe, the Neb master of time, who creates years, governs the months, and rules the shadow and daylight hours. His followers also claim him to be a more powerful manifestation of the solar netir Ra, and named him Amun Ra. It's not so much a name which helps in raising your vibration, not so much a name as it is a sound. It is used to fix the attention, thus making the brain more receptive to ideas from the inner and higher realms. It is the sacred word, or rather sound, known to the mystics in all ages because it rouses up or tunes up the magnetic force, inducing the receptive state. The Egyptians used the word Amun as the word of power for awakening the Ka, spiritual body etheric double. The idea of a person calling or pronouncing the name of this first Netil and invoking him to manifest to thee was adopted by the Hindus who got it from the Egyptians. Therefore they say it in a chant, making sure that the tone resonates in the sinus with a buzzing sensation, not too strong, not too light, in order to stimulate the eye at the tip of the pyramid. That is the vibration from the nose that opens up the third eye to the hidden world. With the right amount of input, it will open up centers in the brain. These centers will cause all your glands to vibrate. The center These centers will call all your glands to vibrate on a certain frequency and will put you on a station where there is information being broadcast that you will pick up and receive telepathically from your four higher senses: telepathy, clairvoyance, psychometry, and intuition. With this, the Etherians will speak directly to you, speaking to you in what steps to take, where to go when times get beyond repair and you manifest. You need to feel, to know you exist. Thus, with your four higher senses and your five lower senses, sight, smell, taste, touch, hear, you have 9.